As all of you know, again I am very carefully bringing this point. I need to ask myself before coming to Vedanta whether I am arthi, artharthi, or I am a mokṣārthi. If I am an arthi, arthi means the one who is in distress. I hope in Bhagavad Gita we have discussed in details. I have some problem, so I want some relief. That's called arthi. Definitely, the Vedanta is not going to work. It is just time pass, it's a waste of time and also creating problem for others. So also when I look at myself, I am not arthi but artharthi. So artharthi means looking for the security. Different type of security. Starting with the money, but there are many type of securities, you know. Power, position, relationship, this, that, all this comes under security. So if I am looking for security, again same problem. But most of the cases, I myself do not know. Sometimes I am arthi, sometimes I am artharthi. That is the dangerous statement, okay? State. Most of the time I am arthi, sometimes I am artharthi. Then, if these are the two stages, definitely Vedanta is not going to be helpful. Why and how? Because today morning onwards this thought is running, so that's why the topic also joins with that. Be honest with yourself. When you get up in the morning, what sort of thought is predominant? Which thought really makes you to get up? Is it related to that I have to take care of this, I have to take care of that? And if I don't take care of this, if I don't take care of that, if I don't do, then what will happen? I will lose many things. The sense of fear. Now, if this is the predominant in the morning, now tell me, are you an arthi or not? You understand the concept? So definitely you are arthi. So if you are arthi, Vedanta is not right thing to do. Then, second type of thought. Let me do this. Morning get up, okay, let me do this. So why you want to do this? Why you want to do that? So that I will achieve this. I will achieve that. Now, if that thought is predominant, now tell me, are you an artharthi or not? Seeking for security. So if you are an artharthi, again Vedanta is going to create more problem for you and you will become a problem for others. See, Vedanta creates a problem for you is not a problem. When you become problem for others, it is more dangerous. But then how to know that I am a mokṣārthi? Because after mokṣārthi, then becomes person jñāsu, okay? So this, how do I know that I am a mokṣārthi? Or I am a jñāsu? Yes, today I am getting up. I must know something. I am interested to know. Then next level is called I am getting up to share. To know, to share. Can you see this point? Then only The Vedanta means the qualification you have, or you are moving towards the qualification at least. So in short, we have already taken 8 classes. This is the summary of 8 classes. You be honest with yourself where you stand. Don't bluff, don't tell lie yourself. And God said, don't justify. But if you do, that's your choice, because nowadays I am least bothered. However, coming to the point, only a person who is first mokṣārthi and also knows moksha is nothing but understanding one's own self. There is a quantum jump. And why that a quantum jump takes place? So quantum jump takes place because of śraddha. So if the śraddha is not there, quantum jump will never happen. You just look at, including Arjuna and Krishna relationship. Krishna was available all the time with Arjuna. In fact, Arjuna blamed Krishna every time. There was no occasion when Arjuna did not blame Krishna. Poor Krishna was blamed by Arjuna all the time. And of course, during Mahabharata war, because of the grace and all these things, everything worked. Then of course he came down, surrendered, and asked, Sishyasteham mam sadhitvam prapannamiti. Now I surrender to you. Now I am your disciple. Please teach me. And of course, Arjuna still did not go back because he was going round. Of course, Krishna knew how to answer him. That is whole Bhagavad Gita that we have seen in details. Why I am bringing these 2 things together? Please continuing so that it becomes easier. saṃsārabandhanirmuktiḥ kathaṃ śātkadā vidhe iti ya sudṛḍhā buddhihi vaktavyā sa mumukṣutā. That is called mumukṣutā. So what is that? Iti ya sudṛḍhā buddhihi. So the buddhi, which is sudṛḍhā, means really intense. Not when I am suffocated, I look for water. It is, I know my body needs water. I need to drink every day minimum 3 liters of water. Not my when lips dries, skin does not look better, let me drink water because my beautician suggested. But my body needs water. And how this happens? Here it says, I have to a buddhi, a desire here. So buddhi means the convicted desire, not convicted, convinced desire. So that means it is decided fully. And that buddhi, which is intense, sudṛḍhā, sa vairāgya. So that is to be called as what? Mumukṣutā iti. And how he says? He starts with, O Lord. So that means to have this buddhi, Ishvara anugraha is must. Without Ishvara anugraha, means the grace of Ishvara, it's not going to work. And how to know Ishvara anugraha? We have already seen this. In fact, one of the reasons this Buddhism talks about jivedaya. So jivedaya means compassion towards living beings. That is what they highlight in Buddhism. It is just, hypocrisy. The logic here I would like to give you. Why and how hypocrisy? That which we have already discussed, where in the previous verses, if you remember, that where we discussed that suvarnāśramadharmena tapasa haritoshanāt sādhanam prabhavet punṣāṃ vairāgyādi chatuṣṭayam. Verse number 3. So there he was used this word haritoshanāt. So generally, if you look at this word called haritoshanāt, you can say by pleasing. No. Through the devotion to the Lord Hari. We have seen in details. So how? Because when the person has devotion towards Ishvara, or when the Ishvara comes in one's own life, automatically the person starts developing compassion towards all living beings. If you say, I am a devotee, I worship Ishvara, but I am a cruel person, I am a revengeful person, it does not work. It never go together. That's why in Buddhism what they did is, because there is no God, nothing. So taking this aspect, what they did it very carefully. Now Buddhism talks about or highlights about compassion towards all the living beings. So whoever is part of Buddhism, also part of God. And who is the God? The Buddha. Can you see how carefully? Then Buddha became God. And we all believe this. Very unfortunate. That's why Vedanta and a Buddha never go together and should not together. If you have little bit weakness for Buddha, please understand you don't deserve to be in Vedanta class. Little bit weakness. It's like, no, if you have little bit weakness for Mahatma Gandhi and you want to see the future of India, it never go together. This is my version, okay? So anyway, let us not get into politics, okay? Because these are the core things. Or else we'll be talking, Swamiji, all religion leads to the same God, everything one and same. I also love Buddha. Okay, thank you. Continue. It doesn't work at all. A Vedantin, even if you cannot dream to associate with Buddha or Buddhism, I make it very clear. A Vedantin, even if cannot dream to associate Buddha or with Buddhism. If that happens, that means I'm sorry. It's like you are contradicting yourself very strongly. Hoping that maybe in the next life you will have some clarity. That is always hope, don't worry, okay? Nothing will go waste. So, with that, now here he says that is called Mumukṣutā. What is Mumukṣutā? Saṃsārabandhanirmuktiḥ. So what he says? saṃsārabandha. Generally people will say freedom from the bondage of samsara. This is the regular translation. So freedom from the bondage of samsara. This is called Buddhism. This is called all-ism. That's why Buddha ran away from his wife without informing, with a small child. In the night left him. You know the story. How escapist he was. The kingdom, poor wife, child, everything he left, ran away. Because for him, wife was bondage, Tamil samsara. It's ridiculous. So when you look at this translation, saṃsārabandhanirmuktiḥ means freedom from the bondage of samsara. You will see all the translation is like this, okay? So that means what? That samsara is a bondage. So I need to have freedom. What should I do? I should get rid of samsara. Run away from samsara. So Buddhism matches, all ism matches or not. But here we say, this is very beautiful, this is called Sanskrit. Saṃsārabandhanirmuktiḥ means saṃsāra eva bandhaha. So what you called as samsara, so samsara is indeed bandha, is bondage. So what is samsara? So samsara means the sense of becoming. Samyak rupe saratiti saṃsāra. That which keeps changing. So in any object, in any relationship, in any society, I am associated. And I call that as bondage because there is a process of me becoming someone. So this sense of becoming, the samsara itself is bandha. Tasmat muktihi. So that means from that, not of, okay? So from that, now I need, from that bondage, I need freedom. That means what? I need to make myself free from my sense of becoming. Now, when this is there, he says, look, and this will come when Ishvara Anugraha is there. That's why a Vedantin has to be a devotee in the beginning. Without being a devotee, one cannot approach Vedanta. It doesn't work. That becomes Devanta. We say Devanta. Devanta means the end of Devatas, gods. Which we have discussed in details. That without Upasana Yoga, instead of Bhakti Yoga, because I don't want to use Bhakti Yoga anymore, okay? We'll use the word Upasana Yoga. Because Bhakti Yoga is confusing, but there are group, okay? We are Bhakti Yoga. We follow the Bhakti path. And some people say, we follow Shakti path. So this Bhakti path, Shakti path, this part, that part doesn't work, okay? And here he says that without Upasana Yoga, and of course Karma Yoga, can you come to Jnana Yoga? It will not work. Then Jnana Yoga becomes what? Another type of mental exercise. Wow, Swami is very nice, talking very well, very good. Yes, Swami is talking because it is entertaining your mind. Suppose if I challenge your ego or your standpoint, Swamiji, who is the worst fellow in this earth. You understand? So you will put a flower on my photo in both way, okay? In a good way, also in a bad way. You understand? Anyway, don't worry. Both way I am getting photo. Both way I am getting flower. That's enough for me, okay? Problem is yours. However, so here he says, saṃsārabandhanirmuktiḥ kathaṃ syātkadā vibhu. And what sort of desire? When and how? That means all the time thought is, look, I am suffocated. Which actually this sort of stage is being talked in viveka Chudamani, few verses. Adi Shankaracharya talks, the pain the student goes through, the suffering the student goes through. Dhruvara saṃsāra, davagni taptam. It goes on and on. So when a person understands the pain of sense of becoming, and the person does not look for sense of relief, that person now starts asking question, kada, when, kathaṃ, how, when and how I shall be free from this bondage. And this bondage is indeed the saṃsāra, sense of becoming. So that means morning I get up, suffocating. It is like in summer, in India, presently. So everybody, the moment they open their eyes, what is the thought? Oh God, so hot. So what you do? Close all the doors and windows, pour water, this, that. Now new rules also. If you waste water in Delhi, so you are fined 2,000 rupees. So new rule, okay? Even if you cannot wash your car, okay? If they catch you that you are washing your car with the water, so you'll be fined. However, coming to the point, so when you get up with one thought that, oh, it's so hot, what is to be done? Then you would never waste your time, or you don't allow the heat to enter your house. You manage. How that desire, even if in winter also, how you make sure you change all your doors and windows to make sure that the cold wave must not enter your house. Same way, when you have intense desire, when and how I will be free from, shall I be free from this bondage? And when this is constant, then only what will happen? I will be called as a mumukṣu. Or else I am either arti or artharthi. Is it clear today? That's why I was a little tough today. I thought if something can enter, if nothing can enter, but don't worry. That is also good for you, better for me. And this is called mumukṣutā. That's why to become a mumukṣu, you need God's grace. Without God's grace, this mumukṣu concept will not work. That's why, especially when we look at this mumukṣutā, we always bring Veda Purvabhaga, the ritualistic portion of Veda. Because without bringing this ritualistic portion of Veda, where culture is being taught, then you can say, Swamiji, we are also following our culture. So you don't you think that it is sufficient? What is your culture? There is nothing called your culture. Whatever you say as your culture is imposed culture. Christianity is not your culture. I am sorry to say. Buddhism is not either Nepal's culture. So there is only one culture that is called Vedic culture, that is called human culture. Other than that, what you call as your culture, it is imposed upon you. And when you follow for generations, you call as a culture. Like we have fight constantly. I'm sorry today going out of the topic today. Like constantly fighting we have here in India, because when Mughals came, they destroyed, forget Mughal. Prior to Mughal, when Buddhism came and took over, they destroyed all the temples and made Buddhist, set up where Buddha was being worshipped. So all the temples are destroyed by them, and that was Buddhist monument nowadays. When we dig, that is how we get it. And best example is Odisha. In Odisha we have triangle, amazing place, full of Hindu temples have been destroyed and Buddhism was taken over. Now is abandoned, nobody goes. Okay, that's another story. Same thing after that, when Mughal came, what they did? They did also same thing, destroyed all the temple, including Taj Mahal. So remember, Taj Mahal is a temple. And they put their covering. And we fight till now. We go to the court, we fight. Whereas when we look at Christianity, what happens? You look at any church, the topmost churches. Did they build or they destroyed a temple and on the top of it they put the covering? Be honest. All over the world. And you call that as your architecture, you call that as, as a culture. And with this pseudo approach, I call it pseudo approach, convenient approach, you think Vedanta will? That's why Vedanta needs very clear approach. And if the approach is not clear, Vedanta is not going to enter. Yes, you will know Vedanta, but Vedanta will not bless you. Please understand, you know Vedanta is different, but Vedanta will not bless you. And in order to be blessed by Vedanta, you need to be a mumukshu, not arti or artharthi. I think enough for today. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.